Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I never thought a Tuesday could feel like a hurricane, but that's exactly what happened when Clara called me. We've been friends for nearly 10 years, the kind of friendship that survived everything. Long-distance moves, job changes, even a brief falling out over some stupid misunderstanding that now seems ridiculous. I'd always known Clara to be impulsive, dramatic even, but loving, fiercely loyal in her own way. At least that's how I remembered her. Until that moment. "Alex, I'm getting married," she said, her voice calm, almost rehearsed, but there was a tremor beneath the surface. I blinked, stared at my phone like the words were some kind of optical illusion. "To someone else," she added, as if that somehow explained everything. My first instinct was disbelief. I laughed, nervously, the kind of laugh that sounds more like a cough. "Wait, what?" she sighed, the kind of sigh that carries the weight of years, secrets, and decisions that can't be undone. "Yeah, I know this is sudden. I didn't mean for it to happen like this, but I'm happy, I think." Happy. The word landed like a punch. 10 years of inside jokes, late-night calls, and unspoken confessions. 10 years of shared history, and now it was apparently all erased with a simple sentence. I swallowed, forcing calm into my voice. "Great. Go live with him then." There. I said it. Out loud. Harsh? Maybe. Truthful? Absolutely. I wasn't going to beg her. Not after the years of subtle hints she dropped. The way she slowly pulled away, claiming she needed space or that she was figuring herself out. I was tired of trying to fit into a life that didn't want me in it. There was silence. I could hear the faint hum of her air conditioner over the line, her hesitant breaths. And then a laugh. Clara's laugh, sharp and surprised, but not unkind. "You're actually okay with this?" she asked, genuinely puzzled. I chuckled, bitter and tired. "I've been okay. I just didn't know you'd make it official before I had a chance to tell you how I feel." She paused. The kind of pause that stretches painfully long, filled with words unsaid, memories hanging in the air. "Alex, you have feelings for me?" I exhaled slowly, a mixture of relief and frustration. "Yes, but I'm not going to fight for a love that's already gone. You made your choice." Clara was silent for a long time, and in that silence I realized something. She was thinking, maybe even regretting, maybe even questioning. "Ethan," she whispered finally. "Wait, Ethan?" "No," I shook my head, muttering under my breath. "Alex, yes, Alex. You're not angry?" she asked again, softer this time, almost vulnerable. I laughed lightly. Angry isn't the right word. Disappointed. Hurt. Maybe a little proud. "Proud?" she repeated, puzzled. "For knowing when to step back. For not begging. For keeping some dignity in a situation that's falling apart." "Yeah, proud." There was another pause, this one heavier, tinged with something like hesitation. "I didn't expect you to handle it like this," she admitted. I shrugged, even though she couldn't see it. "I've had practice. You don't just survive 10 years of friendship with someone and come out unscathed without learning a thing or two." We talked then, slowly, carefully. Not about her wedding, not about the other guy, not about me, not yet. We talked about the old times, the memories we still clung to, the laughter that had always carried us through. And for a moment it felt like us again. But reality had its claws in. A wedding wasn't a hypothetical anymore. A ring, a date, a new life that didn't include me. And yet, the strangest thing happened. In the middle of recounting an old college prank, I caught a hint of vulnerability in her voice that I hadn't heard in years. Not the playful Clara I knew, not the confident, self-assured woman she projected to the world, but soft, uncertain, and human. "I don't know if I'm ready," she confessed suddenly. "Not for him, not really. I thought I was, but..." My chest tightened. This was the moment, wasn't it? The one I'd imagined 1,000 times in daydreams, in late-night confessions I never sent. But I didn't jump in. I stayed quiet. Let her speak. let her unpack the whirlwind she had created in her own mind. And that's when I realized something else. This wasn't about winning. This wasn't about proving anything or getting closure or even confessing feelings. This was about clarity, about knowing the truth without illusions. Because sometimes the truth isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It's quiet, steady, and it hits you in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday, over a phone call that should have been nothing more than casual catch-up. Clara's words hung in the air like smoke, twisting and curling around everything I thought I knew. I don't know if I'm ready, not for him. I stayed quiet, letting the pause do the work. There was no rush. This was her reckoning, and I wasn't going to be the one to force clarity. Finally, she spoke again. Alex, I've been lying to myself. I thought I wanted this, but I think I've been trying to escape something I can't face. I didn't expect it to feel like this. I swallowed, the lump in my throat suddenly heavy. Escape what? I asked gently. Her silence spoke volumes. The kind of silence that carries more truth than any confession. Then, softly, almost afraid she might change her mind, she said, Me, I've been running from us, from everything we had. And now, I'm terrified that I've built this life around a mistake. A shiver ran down my spine. For 10 years, I'd waited for clarity, for honesty. And here it was, finally. Not the apology I wanted, not the confession I dreamed of, but a crack in the armor she'd spent years building around herself. You don't have to decide anything right now, I said, careful to keep my voice steady. I don't want to pressure you, but I also won't disappear because you're scared. Her laugh came out sharp and brittle, the kind that hides tears behind humor. You really haven't changed, have you? Always the patient one. Always thinking you can fix everything with words. I smiled faintly. Not fixing, just listening. Just being here, like I always have been. The next few hours blurred into something strange. We didn't talk about the wedding plans, the other guy, or even the years we'd lost. We talked about small things, our favorite books, the ridiculous playlist we made for a road trip that never happened, the ridiculous pranks we pulled on college friends. And in that ordinary, mundane conversation, I felt something shift. Clara sighed again. Alex, I think I need time. Time to figure out who I really am, what I want, and whether this other path I've chosen is even mine. I nodded, though she couldn't see me. Time's good. Take as much as you need. Just be honest with yourself. There was another pause, this one longer, heavier, but somehow lighter at the same time. I felt the weight of everything we'd avoided finally settle down, and in that stillness, I realized something I hadn't admitted even to myself. Letting her go, even temporarily, didn't feel like surrender. Felt like respect. Respect for her journey and mine. Alex? She whispered, almost afraid to finish. Yes, I prompted, keeping my tone calm, steady. I'm scared I might ruin everything. You won't, I said firmly. Not because of me, but because you'll find the truth sooner or later, and that truth, it's never as scary as lying to yourself. The line went quiet again, and then the unthinkable happened. Clara laughed. A full, unguarded laugh that made my chest ache in a way that was familiar, nostalgic, and achingly sweet all at once. Why do you always make sense? She asked. I shrugged, though she couldn't see me. Because someone has to. We talked until the sun began to rise, words flowing like a river we hadn't let run in years. And when the conversation finally ended, it wasn't with a promise, a confession, or a plea. It ended with clarity, peace, and an understanding that some moments aren't about closure, they're about recognition. Recognition that sometimes the right choice isn't fighting or chasing. The standing firm, listening deeply, and letting the other person face their truth. Weeks passed. Clara didn't call every day, didn't text every morning. Life moved forward slowly like it always does. But every now and then, she'd send a message. A small note, a shared memory, a fleeting thought. Nothing dramatic, nothing demanding, just honesty. And that honesty, fragile as it was, mattered more than any grand gesture she could have made. I realized something important in those weeks. Love, real love, isn't always about the grand confessions, the dramatic rescues, or the big cinematic moments. Sometimes it's about quiet patience, about understanding that people will take their own time to see what's in front of them, about letting someone grow even if that growth takes them away from you. And then, one afternoon, Clara texted me. Short, simple, honest. Alex, I'm ready to talk. Really talk. No distractions, no other paths. Just us like before. Are you willing? I stared at the screen, my chest tight, my mind racing. But deep down, I knew the answer before I even typed it. Yes, I replied. I'm willing. Because some truths, no matter how late, no matter how far they wander, always find their way home.